Carol Vorderman was accused of hypocrisy as she blasted Donald Trump for ruining the economy, and was urged to look closer to home. Carol Vorderman raged as U.S. President Donald Trump's latest tariffs were said to have thrown global markets into turmoil, but she didn't find much sympathy over on X, where she vented her frustration. The former countdown mathematician was accused of knowing little about numbers when it came to financial markets, and was put on the spot for her decision to vote Labor. Carol had sneered, "Apple down 8%, Nike down 11%, Amazon down 7%, Trump tariffs wipe £1.5 trillion off Wall Street. Going well then for the tangerine bigot aka President Trump." However, the 64-year-old, who'd published a book last year to air her left-wing views, was branded a hypocrite. "I thought you wanted the billionaire owners to lose money," exclaimed one follower, adding, "It's so hard to keep up." Carol's awake. "Quite vocal about the US, but what about your Labour government?" another demanded. "It'd be a bit more worried about what's happening in the UK. Are you proud of the Labour Party you pushed so heavily for? You haven't mentioned them since they got into power. I'm guessing you're a tad embarrassed," chimed in a third. "How about looking closer to home on the government performance?" someone else urged. A fifth tweeter held back even less, emotively raging, "Right, so let's talk about how you pushed people to support Labour and now they're hitting the poor and disabled. You say nothing, people will die and blood will be on your hands." Meanwhile, other tweeters shot back that the stock market and the economy were two very different things, arguing that stock markets had hit all-time highs 2 weeks after Trump arrived in office. Optimists also suggested that a pullback in markets could present good buying opportunities for investors that they might not otherwise have had. Carol has been called out for going quiet after urging her millions of followers to vote Labour, with leader Keir Starmer quickly becoming one of the least popular British politicians of all times after taking up the PM role in July last year. His government made brutal cuts to the winter fuel allowance, leaving some pensioners struggling to keep their homes warm enough and being forced to choose between eating and heating.